What's up, traders? It is Matt with Conservative Trades. That's right. You are hearing from me for the first time since July 2020. And here we sit in a brand new year, 2021, with brand new opportunities on the horizon. And yeah, I'm going to be starting up some things here on the channel. And I wanted to come back and just kind of let you know where I've been, what I've been up to, why I left, and why I'm back, and what you can expect from here on out. So sit tight and let's get into this. So I figured the best way to do this would just be to go through the timeline. So I kind of drew out a brief timeline here, starting in February 2020 when I launched the new channel. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, or you're just seeing this for the first time, or you're like, wait a minute, who is this guy, and what does it mean he left in July and he's back now, and what's all this about? I'll just give you a brief timeline from up to the point of February 2020, from the time where I really started to get into trading, and I started getting into day trading back in mid 2017, we'll say. Summer of 2017 roughly, and I came into trading first kind of getting into the cryptocurrency world. I was trading Bitcoin, and this was actually before Bitcoin had its first massive run up to 20K. Of course, we know now it's blown way past that. But yeah, the first time that Bitcoin blew up, I actually happened to get into to all of that before that happened, and actually did quite well on it, as most people do in bull runs. And so, but anyway, during that time, I was really learning a lot about trading, and getting a good knowledge of, candlesticks and chart patterns and technical analysis and fundamental analysis, and just, getting into that world. And of course, even though most of my time was spent in crypto, I was still getting acquainted with the likes of names like Ross Cameron from Warrior Trading, and Bear Bull Traders, and the list just goes on and on. I could sit here and name 15 other day traders out there, many of whom you guys have probably already heard of. But yeah, I was immersing myself into this world, and again, I got locked into a lot of cryptocurrency trading exchanges, Bittrex and Binance and Coinbase Pro and all that stuff. Although Coinbase Pro was just Coinbase at the time. But anyway, I got into that, and I traded a lot of cryptocurrencies, and I did very, 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 very well, which once that whole world kind of started to crash and go into a long-term bear market, that's when I started really focusing my efforts more on just the general stock markets, and trading stocks. And I actually ended up joining Ross Cameron's Warrior Trading course. I became a Warrior. I think it was the Warrior Pro course. And so I did that for about a year, and I got an account with Lightspeed, and was just trading and having a good time with all that, and did very well for a while. And as a matter of fact, I actually started out as a long bias trader, and I was trading some of the small caps. But the more that I took that program through the year, I actually started paying more attention to the larger caps, and even got into shorting and that sort of thing. But anyway, I ended up just closing my account. I pulled back from it. We'll say I pulled back from it for a little bit. It just seemed like I was just kind of just in the throes of all of it, and kind of had lost sight of some things. And I actually ended up opening up an account with CMEG, Capital Markets Elite Group. It's an offshore broker based out of Trinidad and Tobago. I opened up an account with them, just put in a couple $1,000s, and just kind of messed with that for a little bit. And then eventually just kind of just took a break overall. Just took a long break from it, like 7-8 month break. And then started sim trading again, and started testing some strategies. And I developed some really good strategies. And then I started, trading again with Lightspeed Trader, and I started actually doing really well. And it was at that time that I thought to myself, you know what? I need to start a channel. Nothing that I really want to profit off of. I didn't want to sell courses. I didn't want to do any of that, but I just wanted to start a channel where I could give away free content and really help people out there who wanted to know how to really make a good little side hustle day trading. People who weren't necessarily looking, to get rich, but people who wanted to reasonably get into trading and to be able to do it conservatively and to do it without, trying to be this huge day trading rock star, right? I wanted to captivate these audiences or capture these audiences of traders who really just wanted to learn, okay, how can I just, make a reasonable, good chunk of change on the side, or really grow an account, or really build an account. And I felt like at that time I had the makings to be able to share that knowledge, right? Now, obviously, I always tell people, and I'm going to say it again here in this video, that I am not a financial advisor. And anybody who trades, they trade at their own risk. And you have to understand that. Like, there's nobody out here that has these day trading channels, are looking to tell you how to make money. We're just looking to provide education and share our experiences and just let you know that, it is possible to do, but you've got to form your own strategy. You've got to take this trading and this knowledge and you've got to know how to apply it yourself. And you have to do that with your own level of risk management. And that comes with practice, and that comes with, learning discipline and having patience. And, there's a whole lot of things. There's a whole lot of things that it takes for people to become successful traders that goes way beyond any kind of educational tutorial that you can find on YouTube. Okay. But that's what I wanted to provide. I wanted to at least provide the knowledge, at least provide the education, and share my own strategies, right? And so this brings us up to here, February 2020, when I launched the new channel. And I was very excited about it. And I kind of came out of the gate swinging. And actually, it's funny because like that first couple of days that I started the channel, and I don't know, it was maybe just a combination of trying to focus on the channel and what was happening on the live stream with YouTube, and then looking back at my trades. I mean, obviously, I was a little out of my element on those first couple of days. Didn't do too well. I actually started the channel with a couple red days. But I quickly caught my bearings with all of that and started to do well. And I was having on average roughly, $500 days on average. You can go back, you can look at all the videos that I posted in the beginning. Some days were only, 150, 250, maybe $300-400, but other days, I was having $600, $700, maybe even $800 days, right? So I just say on average, about $500 a day. Well, then COVID hit. And as we all know, the markets became extremely, extremely volatile. They really did. And there were a lot of things that happened during that time that was just unprecedented, right? As a matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and pull up here. If we look at the history of the SPY, this right here is what happened right here. This is what happened. You can see at the end of February, it started to tank. And by March, we were down at these levels down here. And for some reason, this is running super slow. I don't know why. But by March 12th, we were down here. Okay. By, where was it? March. Oh, why is this taking forever? March 23rd, 2020, we had hit a bottom. And I mean, this was an unprecedented move. Everything again with COVID had hit. And, jobs were shutting down, industries were shutting down. It was the first time we were really talking about like a global shutdown. And really, it was just supposed to be for a couple of weeks, right? So we could slow the curve and get hospitals a little more prepared for the influx of patients and that sort of thing. Nobody was expecting any kind of V-shaped recovery. Everybody was talking about round bottom recoveries. Maybe there was somebody out there talking about a V-shape, but most people were not expecting this to happen. And I certainly wasn't expecting this to happen. And as you can imagine, as a short bias trader, a lot of days where, the general markets, were pumping up and pumping up and pumping up, and the Feds were just, just pumping money into the markets. I got taken by surprise on a lot of things. And so my strategy, the strategy that I had tested after taking a long break and after sitting in a simulator for 3 to 4 months and proving this strategy, and after finally firing back up my Lightspeed account and getting back in and actually doing very, very well, And then after launching the channel, shortly after, we just hit volatile markets. And these strategies just weren't working quite the same way. And, Mike Tyson, there's a very famous saying from Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. And you know what? That's so true. That's so true. And it resonated with me so much because during this time in March and April, I mean, I really did. I got punched in the face a lot. I got punched in the face a lot. I almost want to say just kicked in the teeth. I got kicked in the teeth a lot. I really did. But it really shook me up. It really shook me up. And none of the trades that I was taking were seeming to work the same way. And, obviously at the same time, I still was, tempted running a channel, wanting to, try to still have really good, solid trades and put on, I guess you could say, a good show for people who were watching. I was building the channel. More people were joining me in the live stream. And there was this sense of a pressure that came in, and I found myself almost kind of doing the very thing that I never wanted to become in the first place. And that was trying to be a day trading rock star. I wanted to be a day trading rock star, and it's not that I was really wanting it for, the purposes of, satisfying my ego, so to speak. It wasn't an ego thing. It was just kind of more of like, man, like you've been building a community here for a couple of months. People are, have been enjoying watching your trades and your strategies and your recap videos. And I just felt a sense of responsibility to continue to make the strategy work, right? And to be able to put up some big days, some big numbers, big days for some of you guys to keep you encouraged. And, it just started to become something that it wasn't supposed to be, right? So anyway, moving on to the timeline, we get into May and June of 2020. And it got to a point to where I was like, okay, I've had a couple hard months here, and don't get me wrong, there were still a lot of green days. Again, you can go back on the channel, you can go tally up all the green days that I had. There were definitely more green days than red days. Granted, some of the red days were much bigger than the green days, but I was still, having big enough green days. I was still keeping my account in the green, and so I wanted to take the opportunity to at least to continue to run the channel, but in a way where I could be a little strategic with it. And so I started testing new strategies. And many of you who are watching my channel during this time, especially out during the month of June, you'll know that I actually had some very successful strategy. I was going to say I had some successful strategies, but one in particular that I tested over and over and over and over and over again. It had a really good win rate. It was what I was calling the pullback strategy, where I would find these long extended candlesticks on the 2-minute chart, right? On the 2-minute chart, at 2-minute, 3-minute time frames, it seemed to work the best, right? But at that time, again, you can go back on my channel, you can check it out. Like when you get these major extended bars, they're coming out way over the moving averages, and you can wait. If you can wait about a good 2 to 3 bars in to start loading a position to short it, it always comes back down to those EMAs, always comes back down. And if it doesn't, if it goes into a point of consolidation, well, you just simply get out, because that's when the EMAs will start to catch up to it. And I'll have to show you this on future episodes that I do, but it's still a great working strategy. I've actually been watching this strategy over and over and over again throughout the months, and it's a faithful strategy. But again, a big key part of it is you have to be patient. You have to wait. You can't just get in on the first bar, and sometimes you can't even get in on the second bar. You always have to go and check previous areas of resistance to make sure that you're coming up to some good resistance points, because if you're not, that second bar may not be a good place to get in on. So you might have to try to be patient and just kind of, fish around for it. Let it come to you. Cast the line up here and let it come up to you and fulfill your order or fill your order. And then that's usually when you can get some really good moves, because then it pulls back and then you can get out with a really nice profit. I did this many times over. It's a great strategy. But the problem with me is, again, I was constantly coming back around to this mentality of, well, I'm running a channel and, I need to put up some kind of numbers on the board. I was trading just to trade. Okay. And so that mindset, even though I was kind of pulling back and I was trying to be more strategic about it and I was trying to be a little more careful and even a little more conservative, I still just was not holding out with the level of patience that I should have. And that is what got me to July. July 2020 is when I got completely mauled by the Kodak bear. I call it the Kodak bear. Yes, not the Kodiak bear, but the Kodak bear. KODK was the ticker symbol for that. And Kodak just had a Kodak moment, we'll say. I mean, it really was. It really was something that I should have taken a picture of, and maybe some of you guys did. Maybe some of you guys took a screenshot of that. No, I didn't blow my account. I didn't, it's not like I lost tens of thousands of dollars on it. As a matter of fact, I was trading very, very conservatively on it. I only had really, I think the first entry point, I had 100 shares, and then I took another 100 shares, trying to, kind of average into it. But there were many things wrong with that. There were many things wrong with, I should have never tried to fight this Kodiak bear. As a matter of fact, I had taken a really nice trade on it in pre-market, and I was up like 200 and some dollars. And then the market opened, and it was not the pullback strategy, by the way. Let me make that clear. It was not the pullback strategy that I had been testing back here. This actually had fallen under all major moving averages, and it started to recover the moving averages, and that's when I went short on it again. And I should have never done that. Or I think, wait, no, I had actually gone short, but then it started to recover the moving averages, and I could have gotten out, just almost break even. I could have gotten out, but then it shot up, and then it came back, and there was one moment in time where I could have gotten out with I think it would have been like $100 loss or something like that, and so I still would have ended the day up over $100, right? Because I was up at 200 and some dollars at this time, so I still would have ended the day over $100, but I was just stubborn. I was stubborn. And I think that, well, okay, so let me finish the story. I was stubborn, and we all know that Kodak ended up shooting from like $18 all the way up to $50 that day. I mean, just a massive, massive, massive short squeeze. And I got squeezed out. And I lost a few $1,000s. And again, I didn't blow my whole account. I mean, I could have literally the next day, I could have put a few $1,000s back into my account, and I could have been trading again. But it was at this point where I said to myself, you know what? You got to be done with this. You got to be done with this for a while, because, I've been here before. Like I said, I've been trading for over 3.5 years now, And, I've heard all the stories from all the other great ones, all the people out there who have, who really have blown their accounts and who have had to take, a year off or 2 years off until they were able to refund their accounts again. And some of these guys are actually really good traders now, and they do very, very well for themselves, but it's just, I've heard all these stories, story after story. I know, and I have a good understanding of trader psychology. I know how it gets for a lot of people, and I know how it was starting to get for me. And I just didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be that guy. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to stop. I'm just going to stop here. And I'm going to take some time off. And so here's what happened. In August, from August to December 2020, I put a major focus on my business. Now, many of you who watch the channel, that I have another business on the side. I'm actually, well, I should say I'm part of another business. I do strategic web marketing and consulting. So a lot of digital advertising consulting with a lot of companies and businesses and organizations from here to California. And for those of you who don't know, by the way, I am in North Carolina. So we've got clients all over the country, and and that's something that had kind of taken a little bit of a back seat. I mean, I really, did not immerse myself in that field as much as I should have during that time, especially, knowing that, what we were going through with COVID and everything. I feel like I should have been even more attentive to that, because it's something that I'm very good at. It's something that I enjoy doing. I work from home. And so when I decided to take a break from trading, I immersed myself back into that, and the business started booming. So, and I actually started freelancing my services. So I continued working with this other company that I was working with and handling all their clients. But I also started freelancing my services to companies, in various cities and states around the country. And so I've spent basically all the way up to now, just really, enjoying the entrepreneurial endeavor. I love being an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur almost my whole life, and I love that. I love everything that comes with that. Everything that with building a business and building clients and continuing to do something that you're really good at and something that you love doing and being able to make good money doing that. And I do. I make very good money doing it, and I enjoy it. And so I really put a strong focus on that. I just kind of put my head down. I forgot about trading for a while, and business has literally been booming. I mean, it's been incredible. I know 2020 has been a very difficult year for a lot of people and a lot of businesses, but when it comes to digital advertising and strategic web marketing and all of that, it's actually been it's been great. It's been great, and so that's kind of what I've been doing this whole time. But during this whole time, I have continued to simulate trade. I've been doing a lot of paper trading, and I've continued to test strategies, but with a mentality, with a clear and sober mentality, so to speak. And so that's pretty much what I'm here to tell you guys today. So I'm continuing with just with my business. I'm going to continue to keep a strong focus on the business that I've been doing as a web marketer and consultant. But I'm going to continue to come back on here on the channel and provide educational content, because there's a couple things that I've noticed since I've been gone. Number one, a lot of my calls are really, really good. Even with swing trading, even with longer term investing, I have come to find that my trading and my eye for, like, just, I guess, being involved with this so heavily in the last 3.5 years. I mean, I've just been able to really make some great calls, and I just have an eye for it. And so I feel like I can, at least during this time, continue to provide that educational content, because this is really what it's been about for me. This is really what I wanted to do in the first place. And I wanted to prove to people, yes, that you can make a good living day trading. You can make a good little side income anyway. I mean, that's really what it was for me. It was just something I wanted to do on the side, make some extra money, and have a nice little side stream of income coming in, just, to have something for the future, right? And it's something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy day trading. And so I'm a big believer of doing things that you're good at and that you love. And, but for me, something that was just as big as making a little side income for myself is, providing the educational content for others who wanted to do the same thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not going to be doing any kind of live trading for the channel, at least not for a while. I want to make sure that I'm comfortable live trading. Again, before I start doing that on the channel. But one thing that I figured that I could do for the channel is paper trading, and at least continue to paper trade and show you some very solid, successful, good working strategies with paper trading. I think that you guys can find a lot of value out of it, and it'll give me an opportunity to reconnect with some of you guys, because, hey, we were forming a good thing. I really had a great time with a lot of you guys, and I want it to continue. I want the relationships to continue, and I want to be able to continue to just do what I love doing and sharing that experience with you guys. So anyway, that's what this has been about. I know the video's been kind of long, but thank you guys for watching, and I hope that I'll continue to see you guys here on the channel, and we'll continue to grow the channel and put out some good content. And at some point, yeah, I might start the live stream back up. But until then, guys, have a wonderful afternoon, and look out for those new paper trading diaries coming to you very soon. That's actually what it's going to be called, the paper trading diaries. So be on the lookout for that. I think I'm going to try to release my first one today, as a matter of fact, later this afternoon. So, all right, guys, I'll see you. Take care.